Imagine this. You move to a new city where you don't know anyone. A new job, new people, new rules. How quickly can you adapt? How do you turn this stress into an opportunity for growth? Today, we'll talk about social adaptation, a process that helps us feel at home in any situation. Social adaptation is the process of integrating into a new environment. It's about adjusting to new living conditions, people, and their rules. According to the American Psychological Association, about 70% of people experience significant stress when their life conditions change, such as moving or changing jobs, which underscores the importance of effective social adaptation. Social adaptation can manifest in various ways. Fear of the unknown. A new team or environment can cause anxiety. According to a survey, about 60% of people feel anxious when entering a new team. Loneliness and isolation. The feeling of being out of place and difficulties in communication. Studies show that 40% of people feel lonely in a new environment. Misunderstanding. Differences in cultural norms and customs can lead to conflicts and misunderstandings. About 50% of people face cultural barriers during the adaptation process. Why is it challenging? Fear of the unknown. We often fear what we don't know. A new team, new rules, all of this causes stress. According to data from the National Institute of Mental Health, fear of the unknown is one of the main causes of stress. In 80% of people, lack of support. When there are no close ones nearby who can support, the adaptation process becomes even more difficult. About 30% of people cite the lack of support as the main factor complicating adaptation. Differences in cultural norms. Different social circles may have different customs and rules of behavior that need to be considered. Research shows that 50% of migrants face adaptation difficulties due to cultural differences. Let's look at some real-life examples that help illustrate how social adaptation works. Hitchhiking as a way to adapt. Imagine that you are going on a hitchhiking trip. Every driver who picks you up is a new opportunity to adapt. You learn to communicate with different people, adapt to their rules and habits. This is a great example of how social adaptation helps us become more flexible and open, moving to another country. This is one of the most striking examples of social adaptation. A new culture, language, customs. You gradually learn to understand and accept the new environment, find ways to integrate and become part of this world. A personal example. When I moved to another city to study at university, it was my first experience of living away from home. The first months were difficult due to the new environment, unfamiliar people, and the lack of usual support. I started actively participating in university events, joined several student organizations, and started volunteering. This helped me quickly integrate into the new environment, make friends, and feel like part of the university community. What skills are most important for successful social adaptation? Let's break it down. First, openness to new experiences. Willingness to change and a desire to try new things help to adapt to new conditions more quickly. This includes accepting new ideas and approaches. Second, empathy. The ability to understand and feel the emotions of others allows for better adaptation in a new team or social group. It helps to build relationships and create a trusting atmosphere. Third, communication skills. Effective communication, the ability to listen and express your thoughts clearly and understandably, are key skills for successful social adaptation. Fourth, flexibility and adaptability. The ability to quickly adjust to new conditions and changing situations minimizes stress and effectively copes with difficulties. And finally, self-development. Continuous development of personal and professional skills, learning new cultural norms and customs, helps improve adaptation skills. Unfortunately, on the path of social adaptation, mistakes can be made. Here are the most common ones and how to avoid them. First, isolation from others. Sometimes when we find ourselves in a new environment, we tend to stay away from others, avoiding communication. This can lead to feelings of loneliness and seclusion. To avoid this mistake, it's important to be open to new acquaintances and actively seek opportunities to interact with those around you. Second, non-recognition and non-acceptance of cultural differences. Ignoring or denying the cultural characteristics of a new environment can cause conflicts and misunderstandings. To avoid this, it's necessary to show respect for others' traditions and customs, as well as to try to better understand and accept them. Third, expecting instant results. The adaptation process can take time, and it's important to remember that instant results are impossible. Impatience can lead to disappointment and stress. You should be prepared for gradual progress and not rush things. Fourth, refusal of help and support. Some people prefer to cope with difficulties on their own without asking for help. This can slow down and complicate the adaptation process. It's important not to hesitate to seek support from friends, family, or colleagues. And lastly, passive behavior. Expecting adaptation to happen on its own, without active effort on your part, is a mistake. It's necessary to show initiative, participate in social events, and be an active participant in the new environment. Social adaptation plays a key role in our mental health and overall well-being. First, reducing stress levels. Successful social adaptation helps to reduce the stress associated with new life circumstances. A sense of belonging and support from those around us reduces anxiety and worry. Second, increased self-confidence. When we successfully adapt to new conditions, it strengthens our confidence in our own abilities. We feel capable of coping with life's challenges. Third, improving quality of life. Social adaptation contributes to improving the quality of life by establishing new connections and relationships, participating in social activities and events that bring satisfaction and joy. Fourth, psychological resilience. People who successfully adapt to changes are more psychologically resilient. They cope more easily with life's challenges and are able to maintain a positive attitude even in difficult times. And finally, social support. Good social adaptation ensures the availability of social support, which is an important factor for mental health. Support from friends, family, and colleagues helps to cope with life's stresses and strengthens the sense of security. Social adaptation is not just a skill, it's a vital ability. It helps us connect with others, overcome difficulties, and live a fulfilling life. The next time you face something new and unfamiliar, remember, this is your chance to become stronger and better. You've already begun your journey of social adaptation. Allow yourself to grow and develop, and the world will become a little easier and more understandable. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Unobvious Obviousness. Subscribe, hit that like button, and share your own stories of social adaptation in the comments. Until next time.